What is up, you filthy millennials? I'm the Cynical American, and today I'm going to bring you a deck tech on my Aristocrats deck that I took to third place at my FNM last night. Round 1, I played against a rather bad player. He is the most arrogant piece of shit I've ever met in my life, and that's coming from me. But I 2-0'd him pretty quickly. He thought my deck was unfair, yet he was the one who played the stupid Ulamog Turbo deck. Like, literally, that deck's sole purpose was playing Ulamog as fast as he could. He literally turn 5 Ulamog me 2 games in a row, and he's talking about unfair. Like, it was essentially that was Aetherworks Marvel level broken. 2-0'd him. Round 2, I played against Red-White Vehicles. I don't know. He just went turn 1 Thraven Inspector, and then played Eldrazi Display, so it was sort of like controlling, but not controlling, and had some vehicles in it. It was sort of like the Red-White Goggles deck from a year and a half ago, something like that. I 2-0'd that. I thought the matchup was pretty bad, but it turns out that attacking with creatures is good. And then in the last round, I lost to white-black humans because I can't count. Game 1, I stabilized the board. I got rid of all the early threats. He didn't have any scrap heat scoundries, so he had no recursion, and I was playing 4 and 5 drops, getting in the early damage. But he kept top-decking black sources for Vent. And he had always watching on board, so I always had the Shambling Vents as 2 power in my head. So when I made my Alpha swing, I could get through both the Shambling Vents at 2 power, but they both had 3 power to do the always watching, and I couldn't, and I was stupid, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. And I got him down to 1, and then he killed me on the back swing push. And then game 2, I rolled down to 5, and it was pretty bad. But yeah, third place. I'm going to show you the build that I played, but this isn't the build that I want to play in the future. But I do want to show you guys the build that I played, because I don't want to show you a build that I didn't play, so. But I don't know, next week I'll probably come up with a different Aristocrats deck to play. I'm either playing this or Jeskai Control, which that deck will be up later today as well. I gotta finish editing it, so. 3 Evolving Wilds. I'm not playing 4. I used to play 4 in all my builds, but the problem is Thalia is, like, she's being main decked, and this card's just terrible against Thalia, so. Half your land's already into the battlefield, tapped as it is, so you don't want to have any overlap. Triple Quagmire and double Vent. Quagmire was amazing, Vent was meh. Like, the card is... Like, I still think Vent's an amazing card, it's just no one's playing it anymore. And I think people should be. I think the card's underrated. Quagmire got me a bunch of games last night just because people forgot it had Death Touch. So, 2 unknown choice. I'm gonna advocate this card until I die. This card's amazing. Especially in this deck where you can open a lot of your dual lands and not have the right colors. Expanse, Sanctuary, extra dual lands. Westvale Abbey, your win condition. Blighted Fen, and Mortuary Mire. I'm cutting the Mortuary Mire for sure. But I did pull a really sick play off. Where was I going? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want to check something. But there were some plays with Eldritch Evolution where you would like put a card on top and then you'd sack to go get it. So that was cool. 3 Forest, 3 Swamps, a Plains, and a Waste. I'm still playing the Eldrazi in the deck, so I'm still playing the Waste. But I don't know if I'll be playing the Eldrazi in the future build. 23 land. Playing a bunch of creatures. I think 29 creatures. 4 Blister Pod. Still gotta play 4 Blister Pod. 2 Duskwatch. This card's actually getting worse and worse. I might cut it for my next build. And just go like Turbo AF, where you just play a bunch of really sacky creatures, and they die and generate value. But it's like, I never use this guy. Like, he never comes up anymore. Like, you never want to go get him with Evolution. You never want to go... he's really only good if you play him on turn 2. Unlike Eiley, she's good at any point in the game just because she has Death Touch and she has 2 relevant abilities. I've never gotten to Vindicate somebody, but that's because the format's super aggressive. But still, having a 2/3 for 2 Death Touch is amazing. The new Gifted Aetherborn, that card I might replace with her, but the thing is, he's double black, which is a little harder to get in the deck than black-white, actually. Just because if you have, the Quagmire and Mire, Mortuary Mire, then you can play that, not Ailey, but if you have, like, Sanctuary and, Quagmire, then you can play the Eiley. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was thinking about it. It just depends on the land. And then last but not least, we have the 4 Cutthroat, because Cutthroat's my favorite card ever. That's it for 2 drops. 3 drops, we have Sifter. He's still amazing. 3 power. 2 Reshaper, 2 Familiar. Familiar put in work. I might put more in the deck. Battery Reshaper wasn't terrible. He was a good card as well. It's just he underperformed. 2 Yeheni, card's amazing. This is exactly what this deck needed. People forget that it has an ability. They think it's whenever a creature you control dies. No, it's whenever their stuff dies. So if they go to chump block your massive attack, she gets big. Then the last 3 drop Renegade Rallier. Card puts in work, it's great. I might put it to 4. Like, it's literally that good. I do have a playset. I just don't know if I want to play all 4 in my deck yet. But like I said, I want to show you guys the build that I played. It's going to take some testing and some time. I have to go look over some deck lists about the format. For 4 drops, we have 3 Smothering Abomination. I'm going to cut this card down to 2 for sure. I hated seeing multiples in opening hands, which caused me to mulligan. So, and then the 1 Thought-Knot Seer to see my opponent's hand, and the 1 Reality Smasher because this card's a win condition. 29 creatures, 8 spells, 2 Fatal Push. I only have 2 Fatal Push, but this card was amazing though. Hold on, I'm sorry. I've been trying to avoid all week not getting sick, and I got sick, so yeah. But 2 Fatal Push. Just play 4. It's just I don't have 4. I wasn't able to pick up 2 more at my FNM last night. I tried, but I could not. 2 copies of Grasp of Darkness. These would be the Fatal Pushes, but this card's actually really good. Just because it does still kill the Felidar Guardian if they go to Saheeli you. Fatal Push can also do it, which is why when you leave up 1 mana, like, you don't want it to be swamp, you want it to be a dual land because they're going to play around other cards. But if it's just swamp, they have a very high chance of thinking about Fatal Push. They might not go for it, especially because you can just sack a Psionic Entry. They'll forget that Revolt's a thing. And they'll think, oh, you have no sack out, like, I'm going to go for it. And I'm like, alright, in response, sack my token, scry. If you have a Sifter on board, and then you go, okay, Fatal Push. And then if they don't have the counter spell, it's just dead. And then the most broken card in all of Standard that nobody's talking about, Eldritch Evolution. This card is the tits. Double green's kind of annoying, which is why I increased the number of force in the deck, but when you resolve this card, you just win. Like, you just win. So that's it for the main deck. It's 60 cards. We're moving on to the sideboard. 1 Felidar Cub. There's this guy at my LGS who plays Mechanized Production, and I want to blow it up. Also, because blowing up Stasis there is good, Fevered Visions is still annoying. Hanmir, Militia Captain, these are for like the black-green decks, where you just have a horde of creatures that don't really want to attack into each other because nothing is trample. You know, Sifters don't want to attack into each other. Constrictor's probably going to attack. If they get the Gear Hulk, it's going to attack, but it's just for the mid-range matchups. Might cut him. Essence Depleter, he's for control decks, just because you can Eldritch Evolution for him because he's a 3-drop and you have a lot of colorless lands in the deck. So you can start using your mana at the end of their turn to ping them for 4. 2 Natural State. This card's amazing. It destroyed Always Watchings. It destroyed Aether Spirit Harvester. It destroyed a Heart of Kirin. It destroyed a Scrap Heat Scrounger because there's an artifact. So it's a super good card. Pulse of Marasa, control decks, mid-range decks, just really the late game decks. Sometimes aggro, but mostly like the mid-range decks. Appetite, might put this to 2. 2 Takedown for Blue-White Flash, because there's a guy on my LGS who plays it. 2 Fragmentize for vehicles. 2 Harsh Scrutiny to look at their hand, and then 2 copies of Painful Juice for the control matchup. Sideboard never really came into effect, and I didn't think I needed it. It's really hard to sideboard with this deck, because you don't really want to board out your creatures. Against control, you just side out your creatures for card draw, But anyway, guys, that is it for my Abzan Aristocrats 4th place FNM deck. I either said 3rd or 4th in the beginning, I don't remember. But yeah, it'll be in the titles for sure. But my name is Nick. I'm a cynical American. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.